Hello, this is Kat Lloyd, Paw Pals TV. I hope you guys are doing well. Last August, I received a plea from Mr. Elwin Thetford about his little dog named Susie, who was euthanized by Smith County before he could claim.
I got her as a puppy and took her to get all of the shots she needed. And then after 7 years of her loving me and my loving her, I had her leased to this area near the fence and working on my lawnmower. I didn't realize she got loose, but someone called the county. They came and picked her up about noon on Wednesday. The next day I went to the shelter expecting to find her.
Right.
They didn't know anything about it. And after a while, she said she's been euthanized. Why? Did she bite anyone? No, she didn't bite anyone.
What would you like to happen?
I'd like for them to be forced to cage the dogs and wait for someone to claim them.
After Mr. Thetford and I filmed, and he made his plea for Smith County to pass a mandatory 72-hour hold of lost and stray pets, I immediately contacted our local judge for help. And he facilitated a meeting with the shelter manager. Unfortunately, I received a phone call from the family that Mr. Thetford was in the hospital, and then the worst thing happened. I attended Mr. Thetford's funeral, and I have to tell you, it was the hardest thing I've ever done.
I will not rest until we change things, not only in Smith County, but in the state of Texas. Our animals sometimes are our only friends. I make an oath to you and your family and your friends, Susie's death will not go in vain.
I took an oath that this would never happen again. So I called the shelter manager and sat down and spoke to her. Now, a lot of people want to hate her, but I have to tell you, and this is the honest truth, as she was telling me what was going on and what had happened, and Mr. Thetford sat in front of her, and she started crying, and she told me that she had resigned, my heart went out to her. I realized she is not the problem. The ordinance is the problem, or the lack of ordinance with a mandatory 72-hour hold. But we traveled to Austin, and during our Austin trip, found out a couple of things. Let's take a look.
So right now you don't have the mandatory hold. How long are you holding?
We do hold them for 72 hours, but if they're aggressive or sick, we do not hold them. So we automatically euthanize right now.
But aggressive could be growling at the time of pickup?
If it attempts to try to bite the officer, then we put them down.
It could be scared. 90% of all the animals will be put down if that's the case.
Yep.
After the meeting, we took a quick tour of the Austin Animal Center because I wanted to show you guys what happens when the community comes together with our officials, our county and our city officials, and we tell them we want a right to rescue. And that's exactly what happened in Austin. So let's take a quick look real quick.
Good afternoon, I'm Don Bland with the Austin Animal Services here at the shelter, and I'm going to give you all a quick tour of our facility. This whole suite of offices here, it consists of our intake, our public resource center, our vet services, isolation wards for rabies cats, or quarantine cats. I don't want to say that, rabies. We don't have rabies yet. Quarantine cats. And then our neonatal nursery and things like that is all in this area, close to the vet services. What a lot of people don't understand is a big facility, and I know you know, it takes a lot of laundry to keep this place going. Commercial, hotel, washers and dryers, you know, that run all the time. Everything is, you know, like small dog ICU. So small dogs that, you know, are in intensive care, they have their own section. We have radiographs, use a digital x-ray system, so we get to see the film instantly. You don't have to process anything. That's always a benefit. This is our large dog ICU. So, you know, that was small dog ICU. This is large dog ICU. These are recovery cages in this room for animals that had surgery today that are in the process of recovering. pre-op, post-op. We have our surgery prep and surgery suites on the back side of that. This is our medical quarantine area, so if an animal has something that's contagious, is strictly isolated in here. So that we try to keep everything separated very well. When animals come in through the Sally Port or through the PRC, this is their first stop, and this is where they're going to get their microchipping, all their vaccinations. This is everything that gets done to them before they go into holding. So this is the area that they do that in. We have a full pharmacy, and then there's actually a room behind there that has all of the drugs that are controlled substances. It's strictly under lock and key even more than this area is. And I have to tell you, it was amazing. The first day I was here and I was going to the pharmacy, and they were getting ready, preparing all the medications for all the dogs out in the kennels. We stuck it in whatever we could find where I came from. And I saw these little orange balls. And I thought, that sure does look like a ball of cheese. They were putting pills and rolling them up in Velveeta.
Oh my gosh, what a good idea.
I mean, they take them. That's the nice thing about it. Yeah, it's a little more expensive buying that kind of cheese, but hey, it works. There's actually 3 exam rooms down this hallway, so if they're full and we have to examine a foster that's coming in, they can do that. So there's 3 exam rooms here too. New dogs that come in that are coming in from the Sallyport or from Public Resource Center, these are cages that they come into prior to getting to go get all their poking and prodding. So they come in here, they get poked and prodded, then they go out to where they need to go. Intake, when cats come in, that was all dogs. Cats come in, this is their holding area until they get processed. Our Sallyport is where we can bring animals in, shut the gate, unload them, so if they escaped, they're contained. They bring the cages out here too. It can sanitize everything out here. And you can see by the mounds of laundry, they'll work on that all day long to get it ready. So that's kind of like, here's the dirty laundry, let's start washing. Our Public Resource Center, so this is what it stands for. So if someone's coming in and they're going to surrender their dog, we're going to try to help them keep it in their home if they can. If someone finds a stray, it's so easy to scan the microchip, find that you have an owner, and ask them, hey, you picked that up 2 doors down, you want to take that back to them? And so many people are willing to do that. So this is truly a resource center. It's not just a place to go surrender to.
Now, this is not the entire tour. This is just a little bit. You can come back and watch more parts next week. We literally filmed for 5 hours. There's so much going on there. They've taken 16,000 animals a year, from chickens to bunnies to peacocks to boas, of course, cats and dogs. It's about a community coming together and saying that they want to value the life of every pet because the citizens value the life of every animal. I thank you guys for watching. Watch next week when we do part 5 of Justice for Susie. You guys are going to see part 5, part 6, part whatever, how long it takes until the ordinance is passed for a mandatory 72-hour hold of all lost and stray pets in Smith County. This is Kat Lloyd with Paw Pals TV. Remember, spay, neuter, microchip, be kind to your animals. And if you have a problem, call us. We'll see you guys next week.
I have a full interview with him where he tells me how hard this is for him.
I'd like for them to be forced to cage the dogs and wait for someone to claim them.